All right, guys, so I made it down to the McKenzie River, and as you can see, this river is way wider than the Peel River that I crossed a little bit earlier. And so the ferry is basically right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's right there. And as soon as it drops off the people over there, comes back over here, I'm sure the guy's gonna signal me and I'm gonna drive onto it, and it's gonna take me across the river. And again, this river also just completely freezes up over the winter time. And so if I come back here ever in the winter, I'll just be able to drive right across the ice to get to the other side without any need for a ferry. Looks like that guy over there is got his own little boat going there. Take a look at that. Where is he? I don't know if you can see him. There's a guy in a boat right there. Oh, that's zooming on my finger, but he's right there. And there's a nice picturesque little town right here, driving into where this river is. Actually, it's a really nice view of the town because a lot of those houses are actually on a cliff overlooking a part of the river over there. So I'm at the McKenzie River now, so just waiting for that ferry to come back, and I'll start recording again. All right, so the ferry I think is about to land. Looks like they're empty, but the guy is just gonna give me the signal to come down as soon as they open it up there. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that guy right there. He's standing there. He's scratching his head, or am I don't know. I think it's a signal, but I am gonna start going down. I'm gonna start going down there. Let's see. Hopefully I got enough clearance, and let's just take a look. All right. I'll wait for this guy to... Clear? Okay. Looks like I'm the only one on here today. Takes a little bit longer because the river is way wider. I think the McKenzie is the longest river in Canada. I'll have to look that up. I'll look that up right now. Longest river in Canada. Let's see, longest river in Canada. All right, so this is Google Gemini is doing some searching. Hope my satellite here works. The McKenzie River is the longest stream in Canada if measured from its mouth on the Beaufort Sea to the headwater of the Finlay. Oh wait, let it load. Yeah, so I think it is the longest. It is the longest river that we have here in Canada. And yeah, the longest river system in Canada is the McKenzie River system, which is 4,241 kilometers long and includes the McKenzie, Slave, Peace, and Finley rivers. The main stem of the McKenzie River itself is 1,738 kilometers long and flows through the Northwest Territories. So that's from Google. Let's see what Wikipedia says. Longest river, among the longest rivers of Canada are 47 streams of at least 600 kilometers. So this is a list of longest rivers. Very interesting. Here, let's see the table. Let's take a look at the table. Yeah, the McKenzie River shows up number 1. Basically, what I'm doing is just looking it up on my phone here. Just looking it up on my phone. And it looks like McKenzie River is the longest river here in Canada, and it's all across the Northwest Territories. So where I'm at right now, let's take a look at the map. Let's open up the map here, and in the map we can see here that I am basically just halfway across the river, slowly making my way across the river here, it looks like. And that was the little town that that I saw on my way in when I was coming through. So that drive there, you can just get a really good, nice view. Very picturesque little town there. And no. So let's do that. Let's pull back out and see how much is left. So I'm at the McKenzie River now, and this river is the longest river in Canada if you follow it all the way through, according to Wikipedia there. And how much time do I got left here? Another 4 hours until I make it to our destination there. So still on the river here. The boat looks like it's kind of swinging around. I'm gonna record the whole thing just so you guys can get a good view of how long it actually takes and what the whole process is. All of the videos that I saw on YouTube would just show the people coming on, and then they would cut to getting off, and I never got a good sense of how long the ride is or like what the actual ferry ride is like. And so I'm gonna record that myself and just keep it on the YouTube channel here, and I'll refer back to it whenever I need to. He's asking me to come a little bit forward here. It's going to move forward. He's asked me to come more to the side. And more. I feel like I'm right on the edge. Yeah. And maybe I don't know how long. Okay. So it brought me right to the edge, and I'm gonna park it. watching him in the rearview mirror to see what's going on. Looks like this one makes multiple stops, so I don't think I'm on the other side just yet. And looks like there's a truck. You can see in the rear view there. There's a truck there that is that's coming in here. So I guess he wanted me to make as much space as possible to make sure that that truck can make it in. Let's keep an eye on that guy. It's really shaking as this truck comes on. And oh wow, it's getting really shaky on here now. And he's coming right to the back of my car. And there he is in the side rear view. Yeah, so I think what it does is, so we went from, so basically pick me up right here, came right to the side here to pick up the truck, and now we have to cross over. We have to cross over to the river to get both me and that truck across the river there. But I'm going to stick the camera out I was going to stick the camera out there for a second to give you guys a view of the river. I think it'll be too loud. Oh, looks like the sound has died down. Let me stick it out here. Hopefully you guys get a view. I tried to spin it around, but I think I'm probably not doing a good job of spinning the camera around, but best we can do with the equipment we've got here. So what it's doing now is, let's see, zoom out and I say show me the north. Yeah, so he picked me up basically right here. Then we basically went over to this side, and now we're moving up the Dempster, up to the Dempster. And this satellite view is actually really, really helpful because you can, as you're driving through the highway, you can actually get a really good view of the rest of the landscape, just through the photos there, because when I switch it into into Maps mode here, it doesn't, I mean, you barely get to see anything. So when I switch it into Maps mode, I mean, it's still good, it'll help you navigate and stuff, but being up here, I like to keep it, can't add it, avatar, that's not what I'm trying to do. And I don't want to show 3D buildings, what I want to do is show the satellite. Okay, there it is, the satellite view. So look at it here. When I was driving all throughout the mountains and everything yesterday and today, big chunk of today, you can really start to see where the mountains start and where you're gonna go uphill, where you're gonna go downhill. You can really see all of that on when you put the satellite view of the map on. So what do we got ahead of us here? Let's take a look as we're making our way across the McKenzie here. We're gonna go straight up, and hopefully there isn't too many more mountains and stuff to climb, because a lot of what I said about the Dempster in my previous videos, I might have spoken too soon, because I ran into a bunch of patches that were, I mean, pretty dangerous. They looked like they were pretty dangerous, and even the smallest mistake could have had me rolling off of a mountain basically. And so some of my previous videos, I think I was a little bit too early into the game to actually see what it's really like. But there are some pretty dangerous patches along the road. There are sections of the road that have completely like caved in, so there are sinkholes where we are right now. It's called the permafrost. So the permafrost is basically a couple of layers down. So this layer that you see on the ground here, this kind of freezes up and it thaws across the winter and the summer. But if you look a little bit lower in the ground, one layer lower, that's permanently frozen, and that's why they call it the permafrost, because the layer under the ground usually does not thaw out. But what happens sometimes is that as the weather gets warm, or in certain areas of the permafrost, the second layer of the ground starts to melt, and the ice in that second layer starts to melt. And what that does is it creates these big sinkholes, because as soon as that ice melts, the entire ground just collapses underneath, and it falls down. And I saw 2 spots on the highway where like half of the highway was basically just missing, because there was a gigantic sinkhole where the ground had basically just fallen right down. So if you've watched my earlier videos, ignore a lot of what I say about it being easy. It is not as easy as I was saying in those videos, and I was way too early in those videos to see what the full Dempster highway is really like. And I'm still kind of early. I still got a bit of a trek to go here, so I'll be able to give you a full clear picture of what it's like once I'm finished there. But we're about 17 minutes in, looks like, in the video here, and I think I'm finally making it out to the spot here. So all right, this section, I don't know, man. I hope they give me enough clearance. These guys are all used to driving these big trucks over here, so to them, they're like, you know, look how much clearance that truck over there has, right? And so these guys are not always looking at it from the point of view of somebody who's driving basically like a soccer mom minivan. And hopefully they give me enough clearance there to... Okay? Yeah? Okay. All right. So hopefully we got enough clearance here. We're just gonna try to angle it so I don't scrape the bottom here. All right. Nothing. We made it. Very cool. All right. So this thing's got enough clearance to make it through through those things, but I have seen a couple other videos where they kind of land the little platform in the wrong spot, and some people end up scraping their bottoms. But I'm kind of surprised that the bottom of this thing did not get scraped at all across any of the ventures that I've done here so far. So far so good. No flat tires, got lots of gas. We got about 4 hours and 14 minutes based on what the map over here says. Looks like we got about 4 hours and 14 more minutes to go. So I'll check in with you guys again when I get up there.